Welcome to the 37th episode in the martial poetry series. In this video, we're going over the Xingyiquan movement of Pao Quan. And like we did with Beng Quan in a previous episode, I'm not going over the term Pao Quan, but I'm going over the correlated phase or the correlated element, depending on how you translate. So the element and the phase that we're talking about is the phase of fire. So the phase of fire is meant to convey an idea. All the different elements are trying to convey an idea for how to shape and how to deliver internal force. So with Pao Quan, it's about expansion force and expansion in all directions. Because the kind of imagery it's trying to convey is that of like a bomb, like a fire explosive, right? So you get a grenade and then boom, it explodes in all directions simultaneously, not just in 2 or 4, but all omnidirectional explosions. So you're trying to convey this concept. Almost every martial art has this concept in its own way. Some will call it shrink, expand. Some will call it swallow, spit. Some will call it crouch and jump. But it's all the same kind of idea. It's this idea of everything condensing and then everything expanding outwards. So the movement is like this. So I condense, shrink, and then I explode. Shrink, condense, and then explode. So there's this obvious shrinking, like this getting ready to explode, right? And then as I go into the movement, everything expands outwards, all directions. So in the arms, you can see, right, expanding, opening the chest this way, and then expanding forward. But it's not only those directions, I also expand upwards and downwards by sinking the pelvis and reaching the crown of the skull upwards. So I'm not here, but I expand upwards and downwards. I also expand the back backwards. So it's probably hard to see on camera, but as I punch, I'm not kind of throwing my back forward. I'm actually expanding my back backwards as I open, as if I'm not on a wall. It's like I'm trying to push the wall backwards at the same time. So there's this equal and opposite directional force going on. So that's the basic idea. You're like a grenade, you're getting ready, and then you explode. Condense and explode. So much like with the Beng Quan, right? We talked about with the wood and how there's this growing sensation to it within the associated element or phase, that the idea of the tree growing in 2 directions, not just 1. In the fire, it's talking about the expansion from the dantian, from the lower dantian, and expanding out in all directions. So when you're practicing Xingyiquan, think about this element and think about the shrinking, condensing, everything is coalescing, and then explosion, and everything expands outwards. So that is Pao Quan from Xingyiquan with the fire phase.